following content is brought to you by Social Inform Media. This story comes to us from WSBTV.com. Out of Georgia, we're going to Georgia, y'all. That's my Georgia accent. Georgia, sweet Georgia, I've got Georgia on my mind. Anyway, we're going to Fulton County, Georgia, where a local police lieutenant is out of a job after several officers accused her of causing a hostile work environment. The officer said she was stealing money and drinking on the job, among other claims. Now the city of South Fulton has asked an outside police agency to investigate the matter. Now Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez has learned that Smyrna Police Department took up the investigation and has interviewed more than 20 employees for the South Fulton Police Department out of Georgia. Now in the end, the investigation found that the main complaints were substantiated. Whoa! Substantiation for complaints there. Like that kind of means something, right? Or no? There were several violations of department policy and possibly even criminal violations. Think she's going to get charged with crime? But late last year, 8 South Fulton police officers made official complaints about Lieutenant Shannon McCasey. More than half of them said on record that McCasey had created a hostile work environment because she was terrible. Yeah, she was terrible. Can you imagine if they started an investigation every time somebody said their boss was, my boss is terrible. So how's your boss? Terrible. We're going to start an investigation. Dude, I don't think there's enough time in the day for all those investigations. 7 officers complained that McCasey would drink alcohol at work, forced others to do it with her, and claimed people are intimidated by Shannon McCasey because of her relationship with the chief and his wife. Wow. So she's like, you take a shot with me or I'm going to tell the chief what you did last week. Anyway, at least one officer, I'm trying to get around that. They're intimidated by her because she's friends with the chief and his wife. Politics much? At least one officer complained that McCasey mishandled money from crime scenes. Here's $1,000. Okay. 100, 200, boop. 300, 400, boop. 500, 600, 700, boop. I don't know. I don't know what mishandle means there. It's kind of a generalized word. But in a memo to city officials when the HR director, Nikki Graham, tried to launch an investigation, Graham said Councilwoman Helen Willis tried to fire her. Graham said, it concerns me that Councilwoman Willis would ask to terminate me for doing my job. The city manager, Tammy Sadler Jones, also sent a memo saying Willis accused the HR director of meddling in the police business and that she needs to leave the city and go to another agency. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but HR, the police department is a city department. HR is, controlling over the city. Human resources, wouldn't she meddle sometimes in police? I don't get it. Maybe I'm misreading into it. I don't know. Now, when the Councilwoman Willis said all that, and they say there's a Facebook post where Willis says there's no merit to these allegations. She's defending. So maybe she's friends. Maybe Shannon McCasey is friends with the police chief and his wife and Councilwoman Willis. Would that be a conflict of interest? But when Willis was doing all this with the HR director, that's when city manager called for an outside police agency to investigate, and Smyrna investigators stepped up, speaking to more than 20 South Fulton Police Department employees. Now, she also requested Newswoman Fernandez asked South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows to sit down with her for an interview, but he declined. And when she asked Councilwoman Willis, she never responded to a request for an interview. Now, the Smyrna Police Department found through their investigation that the complaints of Sergeant Burkhart and Detective King of a hostile work environment are substantiated. Wow, there were several substantiated violations of City of South Fulton policy, South Fulton Police Department policy, and Labor Act violations. That could be federal. Also, there's a highly probable criminal violation of theft found in the investigation. She won't see a minute of court. All people in the polygraph were determined to be truthful except Shannon McCasey. I don't put stock or merit into these. Well, it's a lie detector. No, it's a polygraph. All you have to do is ask somebody an uncomfortably weird, creepy question and then go, why is your heart rate going up on that question? Because it's freaking creepy. That's a weird-ass question. So McCasey denied the allegations, but according to the report, a week after the findings on July 5th, McCasey resigned in lieu of termination. So she denied the allegations, but when their investigation report came out, she goes, I'm resigning. See y'all. Now, many officers believe that the police chief of South Fulton PD should have fired her immediately when their report came out. She resigned. She's given that opportunity, though. According to the union, they say, you're going to be fired. Would you like to resign? Okay. You get that option. The city of South Fulton sent a statement saying that since the investigation, money will no longer be handled the way it was. They will now count money at the scene with a money counter. It will be sent straight to the state of Georgia. The state will then return the money with documentation. So they're no longer going to, the money now is going to be counted at the scene with a money counter. That's going to fix it. Hey, here's $1,000. Okay, I'm going to count it. Okay. You only gave me 700, dude. I don't know, man. Right? What do you all think?